Hi, I'm Sister Bliss.
This is Maxi Jazz with Faithless.
And you're watching the GlobalGathering UK podcast. Who are Faithless? Faithless is, in the studio, myself, Maxi and the enigmatic Rollo, who's not actually here, but he's a vital part of the triumvirate that make up Faithless. We write and produce our music in the studio, and Maxi writes lyrics, and when we get together to go out on tour, we also have an 8-piece live band, so we move from studio to the live situation with quite a different setup of people. We've been very busy recently. We've been performing an album launch tour throughout Europe for a month, and then in the UK for over a couple of weeks, which has been brilliant fun. And we're nearing the end of our UK tour and about to launch into the festival season.
Right, we've been in the music business for 15 years, and the secret of our longevity utterly escapes me.
Hopefully it's that the music's quite good.
Yeah, I have no clue
people
why
like
we are held in such affection by our fans. I love them to bits, always will, but I have no idea where it comes from. It's a very happy surprise.
The dance scene is probably the most vibrant it's ever been. It's enormous, it's exploded globally, and it seems to me to have this amazing capacity to draw people in still. When it was written off as being a pretty spent musical force and pretty redundant musical force, because all it was mindless hedonism and people dancing. And it was written off by a lot of journalists, which was a shame, because having been a DJ for many years as well as a member of Faithless, I saw firsthand the pleasure and joy people got from dance music and the electronic music scene. And I think it continued to flourish under the radar, if you like, a little bit. So I think it's changed in that way, and it's exploded beyond anybody's wildest dreams.
If I could collaborate with anyone at all, it would probably be Sly Stone.
There's a few people with some amazing voices out there. Bjork is someone that, although we remixed her many, many years ago, I've never collaborated with, and I think she'd be an amazing and free spirit, and Kate Bush as well. I think the whole vibe of GlobalGathering is something I'm looking forward to, because the crowd are just amazing, just so rocking. We've headlined it once before and it was just the most fun to do the show. It really went off big time. But there's lots of great acts on. I'm looking forward very much to seeing Too Many DJs, because I haven't seen them for quite a while. It'll be good to see what mad mashups they create. Also Tiny Tempers doing a little live set, and he's a really wicked young talent, and I really like his flow, so I'm looking forward to seeing him.
I am there. Oops. That's probably them.
Congratulating us on our number 2.
Yeah.
No, look, they've obviously been around for years and years and have the hugest fan base, and were quite, you know, revolutionary in their heyday, and a groundbreaking band in many, many ways.
I tend to get warmed up for the show in the same way I used to get prepared to do knockdown fighting when I was a karate student. I get myself worked up, and I try and imagine that the audience out there absolutely hate us, and they've come to see Sting or the Red Hot Chili Peppers or whoever else is on the bill, but not us. It gets me sort of aggressive, if you like, because when you're angry, then you radiate anger, but when you're, you know, behind the mic and on the stage, that just comes across as energy. You're not angry with anybody, but you're
fired up.
You're fired up, and that just comes across as energy, and it allows you to blast yourself straight into the crowd immediately. So that's my little thing. I tend to hit and kick things. I'm not saying...
That's a good question. Let's just say that I say 99.9% of the time I come off stage as high as a kite. It's such an incredibly uplifting feeling to play a show, and people are just going nuts, and they give you their energy, and you just feel completely and utterly, you know, transported. So it's quite hard. You have to sort of come down really gently from that. So sometimes it's quite nice to carry on the party and go out, but often it's just us shouting a lot and being raucous in a dressing room, drinking champagne.
pretty much.
And celebrating, and then going to meet all our mates afterwards. So yeah, definitely not going home. Only disgusting things that I wouldn't want to repeat on camera.
Next. The worst job I ever had, I used to work for this office agency, and they find me work in various offices.
A horrible temping job, in other words.
Yeah, it was awful. And they sent me to this office, and they presented me with this sheaf of A4 with a whole set of figures down one side, and an added machine, literally one of those machines.
Oh yeah.
I lasted till lunchtime.
And you walked. You walked, yeah. I think the worst job I had was in a dry cleaners, and they sacked me on the second day, and they said, "You're clearly not cut out for dry cleaning." I was just like, "No, you're right, I'm not." They were very prescient, I thought. I don't think I was rude to anyone. I just sort of crumpled the dresses in a heap on the ground and stuff. No, I was good with customers. I worked in a clothes shop after that. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, easy peasy, right? The first thing that I would make sure happens is that all of the education ministers of every country in the world would be forced to come and see me and promise to teach their children sign language. I think there are only two main types of sign language in the world, and you simply have to merge those and teach that to every kid on the planet. And that way you can go anywhere, have a generation of kids will be able to go anywhere and make themselves understood without having to spend 5 years learning Mandarin or Cantonese or Urdu or something like that. And plus it means all the deaf and the dumb people who are currently in their own little worlds are brought back into the fold. I think that'd be a really good thing to do.
Oh, the Queen. Oh, that'd be me then. Oh yeah. Well, I'd say free transport for everybody. Absolutely. You know, if a city's transport system is properly subsidised and people can get from A to B, it encourages them to get on with, you know, raising the GDP of a country, because they can actually get to work in a pleasant-ish environment, and it hasn't cost them 3/4 of their pay packet. I can't believe how expensive it is to go on London transport. I use the tube a lot, and I can afford to use the tube, and I just beggars believe how expensive it is. It costs more to get to Manchester than it does to go sometimes to New York.
Yeah. Well, we're
my dad was looking up for a first-class ticket for somewhere.
We're a greedy nation. Everybody knows if you drop the prices, you'll get more people, you'll make more profit. Everybody knows that, except the people who run out.
But the travel should be nationalised, but done in a proper way.
Utterly.
When you see a system that's cheap and usable, if not free and affordable, people feel good. You know. Anyway.
Think on.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope one of you wins this beautifully signed t-shirt, and don't wash it because it might run.